This is Gary Geiman with the Dominate the Day podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to help you get 1% better in your business, provide clarity, and give you some ideas that will help you grow your business. If you're ready to dominate the day, let's go.
Dominate the day, that's what we're about to do. If you don't want to dominate, then this podcast ain't for you. But if you are, then keep listening, cause every single damn day, the mission is to dominate. You already know we're here to dominate the day. So if you want to dominate every day, then let's go, it's time to grow. This is another episode of Dominate the Day.
What's going on, Dominate Nation? It's time to dominate the day. Hey, back in June or July, one of those two, back in the summer, recorded a podcast episode with Bradley Hartman. And Bradley is in the construction industry in a sales consulting capacity. And we chopped it up for about 45 minutes. I'm going to give you a breakdown of clips from that episode. We're going to do the next 7 days. And give you a clip from that episode that I recorded with him that was like 46 minutes. We're going to break it up into 7 clips, give you a 3 to 4 minute snippets, just like in Dominate the Day fashion, so you can dominate the day. Let's get into it.
Mr. Gary Geiman, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate the opportunity to speak to your audience and spend some time with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think if you can deliver half the value you brought me on kind of our pre-call, I think we'll be good to go. So I want to start off with something that I think, honestly, we and my team, we need to do a better job of as we are hiring new people and bringing them in. And I see people and many of our clients and friends in the industry are struggling with this as well, which is, how do you bring new people on and make it really explicit what they need to do to be successful? Because the way you described it had me just nodding my head saying, yes, we need more of that. Maybe tell us about your process and how you do that.
Yeah. So first, even before the bringing on process, we try to get as in-depth as possible in the interview process. But number one, I'll be really upfront. I'm not a person that likes long interviews. And most of the way I do business is the way I want to be treated. And I hate it doing an interview and waiting 30 days to hear if you're going to hire me or not. And that's just not how I work. So we do the same thing with people that we bring on, but we get very intent. And I really focus on questions that we can ask people where, for lack of a better word, and this is how I talk to my leadership team, like we want to ask questions where they can't lie. Not that people are liars, but everybody likes to embellish,
sure.
Like if I hire a salesperson, I don't really care what he did at his last sales job. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for someone that can create conversations. I'm looking for someone that knows how to interact and is very easy to get along with. And because a good salesperson to me just has the ability to have a conversation and has the ability to get the other person to really communicate and take notice. And if you can get the other person to talk in a sales relationship like that, then you're going to win the game, if you will. So we ask questions around that. For instance, I give you a couple of examples.
Please.
One of my favorite questions to ask in an interview is what's your superpower? And with that question, what I'm looking for is like are they trying to snow me, or do they really want to talk about their superpower? Like I'm a big Batman geek, and for a couple of reasons. One, the Dark Knight series was phenomenal. I love the backstory of everything, and like getting into the backstory like really drew me in. And so that series just made me more of a Batman guy. And he's not really a superhero. He's a crime fighter. So any person can be Batman. And I'll always say, I'm Batman. And the reason why you know that I'm Batman is because you've never seen me and Batman in the same room. Of course, everybody in the world can say that, but that's the conversation I have. But the whole ideal of that question is communicate with me, talk to me, tell me something about yourself. Don't try to tell me, oh, I'm really good at working, I'm a hard worker, like all of that crap. So It's not that question is going to preclude someone, but it's a question to get them to talk. And we go through a series of questions like that. We use some video interview software. We have 3 people on the team that usually talk to people, and it's all about communication. So we bring them on. We're like, okay, we made the right decision to bring them on, because when we hire someone, just like any other business, it's your responsibility to make sure they're successful.
Right.
And I have tons of friends of mine that are in business, are business owners, are in a position to hire, and they forget that piece of it. Like they'll say, well, we bring somebody on and we want them to be successful, but they have to be successful. Okay. But it's your job to get them to the ramp. It's your job to make them be successful. And if you equate back to sports, which is easy for me, I coached basketball for many, many years. We plug people into spots based upon their ability, but we also have to teach them beyond their ability. One of the biggest problems when kids come into high school and they're starting to play basketball, for instance, they're taught to play a lot of zone, and a lot of coaches like to play man. So you have to take the zone principles they learn and teach them how to play man. And it's our responsibility during practice to make sure that they can be effective and execute. And so what can you bring to your organization to help your people become effective and execute? So we base everything off of a couple of things. One is our mission statement. So what mission are you on, and is everybody on the same mission? It can't be ambiguous. It has to be direct, and it has to be specific. If you know anybody that served in the armed forces, I didn't, but I have friends that did, and I pick their brains about this all the time, because to me, it's the greatest organization that produces leaders of any other organization that's ever existed is the United States military. And I have friends specifically that were Marines that were in sergeant capacities at different levels. And so I hammer away at them all the time, and they're always scratching their head like, you're a business owner. Why do you care? Well, I care about leadership. And obviously the U.S. military does something right because they produce effective people over and over and over again.
Dominate the day, that's what we're about to do. If you don't wanna dominate, then this podcast ain't for you. But if you are, then keep listening, cause every single damn day, the mission is to dominate. You already know we're here to dominate the day. So if you wanna dominate every day, then let's go, it's time to grow. This is another episode of Dominate the Day.